Hakuna Matata.
And we are live. And hello, welcome to tonight's stream. I am joined by the radiant Ethel Cross, the fantastically sexy Mexican
But not actually.
He's not Mexican. Antro, the awesome Antro Fiend, Deacon, and the ever sexy Swallow Trenchcoat. So tonight's topic, guys, is 80s sword and sorcery fantasy movies. There was an absolute fuck ton of them that came out. I think one of the major mitigating factors of this was the kind of rise of Jim Henson's kind of puppetry, but also the success of a small movie called Conan the Barbarian, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I think a rake of movies kind of lampooned and kind of tried to copy those movies. Would you agree as well? Star Wars, maybe. While I'm not going to include in this, do you think Star Wars played a small part into the rise of 80s sword and sorcery kind of fantasy? Ethel, what do you reckon? Do you think Star Wars was a major influence on the kind of sword and sorcery fantasy of the 80s?
Maybe a little bit with the saber fights and the Force, but aside from that, yeah.
But Ethel, if you had to put brass tacks on it and stuff, what would be your favorite? What would be your favorite 80s sword and sorcery kind of movie?
Oh, geez. That's kind of hard to pin down. It's never been my favorite category of film, but I'd have to say Conan the Barbarian's pretty high up there. Yeah, I'd go with Conan.
Had you any kind of particular favorite scene or moment or kind of actor who was like kind of embodied the kind of sword and sorcery character from that series?
Well, I really liked the scene with the giant snake. I kind of wish there was more of that. It seems like he dispatched it really quickly, but
yeah, it felt easy. But it was. I liked John Milius did kind of not totally wipe out the more fantastic elements, such as like the gods and monsters and stuff like that. I wish we kind of got a bit more of that in Conan the Destroyer. But I would you be in the same kind of vein as me of liking to see more kind of monsters and stuff? Would have liked to see more monsters in that movie.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a few more monsters in there. I mean, we had the giant snake. That was pretty much the biggest monster in that movie. Definitely Destroyer had more because you had that big god beast with the horn at the end. And you had that really awesome mirror fight with that sort of gorilla monster face guy.
Yeah, that was kind of a throwback to a couple of Conan comics. For some reason, every couple of runs, Conan would end up fighting some kind of man-ape that a wizard had fucking somehow domesticated it. And he'd feel bad about killing him in the end. But again, the Milner's Conan is very different from the Robert E. Howard Conan, and I'll get to that later. Mark, what is your quintessential 80s sword and sorcery movie?
Highlander.
Highlander, cool. Is there any particular character or part that kind of cements it as like an awesome kind of sword and sorcery kind of fantasy movie for you?
I think as far as characters go, Sean Connery as Ramirez.
Yeah.
The movie is built around Connor McLeod. Ramirez was it was such an such a flamboyant character, and as far as like swords go, if you've never seen any sword and sorcery movie, you would recognize that sword from Highlander.
Yeah, that's a kick-ass sword as well. It was kind of ironically funny as well. You had like, where the fuck is Lambert Belgium or from France, or where was Lambert from again? Fuck it.
I think it was
French.
Belgium.
Yeah, I believe
he wasn't Scottish, and then you had fucking Connery playing a Spanish Egyptian character, and you're like, what the fuck? What's going on here? But it's fun.
Yeah.
Looking over the chat there. Let's see who we got. Sadie says hello. We also have Art in the chat. Hey, how you doing, Art? Monster Deacon. Hello, Deacon.
Hello. Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
No. I thought you were trying to signal me or something in the chat. Sorry about that.
No.
Ben Grimm also says Willow. I love Willow. We'll get to that. But yeah, no, thanks for tuning in, guys. Antro, favorite 80s sword and sorcery movie?
For me, it would definitely have to be The Dark Crystal. It's just created its own world, its own mythology, and it keeps a lot of the tropes of your classic fantasy and your classic sword and sorcery, but just presents them in this really surreal, completely other world separate from ours, which I really, really enjoy.
It kicked ass. I definitely think the Netflix series kind of elevated the story as well.
It did.
Were you as heartbroken as me when they fucking cancelled it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's well, you know what? Maybe Disney might fucking go, hey, we'll take that if you're not doing any shows. Yeah. I live in hope. Have you any favorite character from it that like kind of is the pinnacle of like Agra or Chamberlain or?
I mean, Chamberlain is peak comedy gold in that movie.
Yeah. I can never do the fucking sigh.
Yeah.
Can you do the sigh? Can you try and do the sigh?
Me?
Yeah.
Mm.
See. Okay.
Oh, you mean Chamberlain? The Chamberlain.
There we go.
Okay, it's going to become an MSR or AMSR. let's continue. No, I'm right with you on that one. Sorry, Andrew. What?
Yeah, he's like the peak of like humor in that movie for me personally. But my favorite character, I do like Ogra. I love how she's both like kind of this very nurturing character, but also extremely, extremely abrasive at the same time.
Oh yeah, she's pure grumpy. She's very grumpy. One thing I love about that movie is, you know, when the Podlins are having their life force being drained.
Yeah.
That's like something out of a fucking Tool music video. That's so fucking Jesus Christ. That's
it gets really dark.
Again, though, I think Henson, when he was making the movie, when he was explaining the movie, he says children should. It's okay for children to be frightened. It kind of like it prepares them for the world that like not everything's going to have a happy ending, and sometimes bad things happen, but we persevere, and that's something I love about that movie. But yeah, no, Andrew, yeah, that's a fucking savage. That's a savage fucking pick. Deacon, what about yourself, sir?
Just because of his acting role in the movie and how it was supposed to be this big budget thing but failed. I love it so much. The Last Unicorn.
I have not seen that. That is one animation I have not seen.
Which
Apparently,
one?
that's very dark. That's a fairly dark movie as well.
Which one I missed it?
The Last Unicorn.
The Last Unicorn.
Oh, it's been years since I've seen that, but yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Well, the book is great too, but I haven't read it.
I do recommend the movie. It seems to be one of those ones where they put you into a nice fantasy world setting where they go, yeah, this is kind of like a nice, happy world. And then 20 minutes into it, oh, fuck. Things take a very serious dark turn and it just gets darker from there.
Yeah, no, I've seen clips and I know there's a very fucking hefty fucking storyline, and I'm guessing it doesn't have the happiest of endings, right?
Yeah. To say it had a happy ending would be to say Highlander had a happy ending.
I thought Highlander had a happy-ish ending.
Yeah, after a lot of decapitations.
Yeah, again, it's been Years for me, but would you say that Last Unicorn, it has a bittersweet ending? Because I don't remember how it ends.
Bittersweet only because when it finally dies, you're sitting there going, but why? Why? You could have lived.
Again, that's cartoons in the 80s as well, so you can't really fucking. You can't. A lot of like All Dogs Go to Heaven, not just fantasy movies, but.
But yeah, it's one movie I can definitely watch with any of my nieces and nephews or anyone at any given time because it will appeal to everyone. I just need to brace them for the dark parts.
Yep. While we're on 80s cartoon dark fantasy, what about the Black Cauldron?
Oh, that's amazing. John Hurt was the Horned King. Fantastic.
Yes, I love the Horned King so much.
I actually rewatched that before this stream, and I went on Amazon Prime. I'm like, oh, I bet this is on Amazon Prime, and I'd forgotten that Disney owns it, so it wasn't there. And I'm like,
it's on Disney Plus, which is nice, but no Prime.
Yeah, and you won't be able to get. I don't think you can get any DVDs of it anymore.
Seriously? I remember renting it from Netflix.
They pulled it from sales. You can stream it, but you can't buy it.
Yeah, you can probably get it in your region, in Region 1, but I don't think there's any Region 2. Fun fact, Antro, in Disneyland, Japan, in the Villain's Lair, there's an entire section because it has a massive cult following dedicated to the Black Cauldron in the Villain's Ride. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. One more thing. The other thing about that movie that makes me sad, but I understand why it happens, was Tim Burton was working as a concept artist and an in-between artist at Disney when they were making that, and they told him to just draw whatever he wanted and come up with this crazy concept art for the Black Cauldron. And there's tons of examples of it you can find, and it's really, really cool. It doesn't quite fit with the high fantasy thing, but it's very cool, very dark fantasy stuff. They used none of it at all.
That's all.
Yeah.
Studios, what are you going to do? Yeah, do whatever you want. Then we'll edit it afterwards.
Mm-hmm. They let him do some weird stuff, though, which I like.
Trenchy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite 80s sword and sorcery fantasy?
There's a few I really love, like Princess Bride or Krull, but I gotta say my absolute favorite is the original Clash of the Titans.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, because that came out. Yeah, that came out in '81, I think.
Yeah,
right.
80 or 81.
Bloody hell, Trenchy with the actual total one.
It's weird because it feels like a 70s film, but it's 80s. It is 80s, I checked.
It was the last kind of big Ray Harryhausen stop motion project.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have a neat Gore in the chat. Hello, Gore.
Hello.
Hey, Corey.
Yeah, I think it might be the more Greek setting, but that one didn't cross my mind in terms of.
Yeah, I know. It ticks all the boxes, though. Yeah, I'm the same as.
I think it's where we.
I wouldn't have like. But yeah, it's in there. It's Indiana Jones grabbing his hat.
I think it's where we painted ourselves into a corner. We sat there and said sword and sorcery, and for us that means medieval period. We didn't think about
there are swords and there is sorcery in Clash of the Titans. It's got all the tropes.
Yeah, it's just where our brains automatically went there. We didn't think outside of that little box. Mm-hmm. Bad us. We're supposed to think outside the box.
Yeah. You also mentioned The Princess Bride, which didn't occur to me because it leans more into the comedy and it's not a straight laced fantasy movie, but it's very much that as well.
And there's only limited sorcery.
Yeah,
like another one you could put in there as well would be Never Ending Stories. I think that would.
Yeah.
And
where do you think Labyrinth lands in terms of all of this?
That would be the same. That would definitely be the same as well, because that goes hand in hand.
Probably
Wait.
not swords and sorcery, but mainly sorcery.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of swords in there. There's a nice little, albeit comedic, final battle in Labyrinth.
yeah, it is. What's the name of the Jack Russell guy that rides on top of the big hairy dog? They have a jousting tournament.
Sir Didymus, I love him.
Yeah.
I think we have been surrounded.
Yeah, it kicks ass. So I would put that in there as well. For me, I'm gonna say one. Oh, sorry, dude.
Oh no, I was saying I agree. My bad.
Hey, we have Night Watch in the chat and Corey. Sorry, Corey, I was not yammering away there. Thanks a million for
Good
sharing.
night.
Guys, what are
This
your
chat's
favorite
jumping.
80s sword and sorcery fantasy movies? Mine would definitely be Krull, because it's about 80% fantasy and about 20% sci-fi, but the sci-fi doesn't overtake it. And it's probably one of the best Masters of the Universe movies ever made. I definitely think it's better than the Dolph Lundgren movie. I enjoyed the Dolph Lundgren movie, but it kicks ass. Antro, have you seen Krull?
I have not. I need to.
It's pretty cool.
I
You've got, like,
recommend it. It's definitely up your alley, my good man.
Yeah, I think it would be.
it's pretty cool. It's got like kind of, and there's huh?
I sneezed.
That was a very
sorry,
aggressive sneeze,
I thought you screamed at someone. Sorry.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Bronco, how you doing? What's your favorite 80s sword and sorcery movie? I fucking adore Krull, because like it's got so many good actors as well in small parts. Liam Neeson, Robbie Coltrane, just all like these background characters. Got a giant stop motion spider, you can't go wrong with that. And it's got a Cyclops. Rel the Cyclops, my favorite character. What would you guys? Okay, starting with Ethel. What would be your favorite? What would be your favorite villain from that? From any kind of sword and sorcery movie? Would it be Tulsa Doom? Would it be David Bowie and his junk cannon out? What would be your favorite swords and sorcery villain?
David Bowie is the only right answer.
Hard to compete with David Bowie and his junk hanging out, but I really liked Tim Curry in Legend. He was a good villain in that.
Tim Curry in any role is iconic.
Yeah, but with that one, he went above board, especially where he wore the makeup all of the time. He didn't even take it off between sets. He usually slept on set wearing the thing.
Oh, God.
Or always tempting. We talk sword and sorcery to pick John Saxon from that second Ator movie. I don't know if anyone's seen that. He's got the big chicken on his head, basically. Metal.
I haven't seen that one. Trying to think. Have you guys seen a terrible movie called Hawk the Slayer? Jack Palance is in that movie, and he is so fucking terrible. He is he's Jesus Christ, he's awful in that movie.
He's got that not Jack Palance, but the main character Hawk. He's got that tricked out sword.
Oh yeah, the sword can just fucking come to his hand. And there's like an elf that's like Legolas. He's like a super archer, but the thing is, they just loop the clip of him firing the arrow back to back. So it's the same clip of him firing the arrow, but it's trying to make it off he's firing 100 arrows at once. It's so fucking stupid. But yeah, no, if you get a chance, check it out. But my favorite bad guy is Jack Palance's Hawk the Slayer, because he overdoes it altogether. And then there's a fantastic bit where you realize that he wears a mask and his face isn't even that badly burnt. It just looks like he put on too much fucking, maybe some marinara went on his face, that's it. But he has this kind of, when you don't want like shite going down your sink, so you put a little metal kind of plug on it with little kind of, like a strainer. That's his eye patch. And it looks ridiculous.
Take care, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Oh, see you later, Brad. Oh, Brad said Masters of the Universe. Sorry about that, dude. Let's see.
That's definitely Sword and Sorcery. That's definitely 80s too.
I would probably not acknowledge it though because it's based off an existing property, which is a toy line. But yeah, no. It goes in there as well, like
No matter the material.
what? Sorry, Andrew.
I just said a movie is a movie regardless of the source material, in my opinion. But
Oh no, I know that, but I don't think. You see, the thing is, like when someone goes after the own bat and make their own fantasy world, I'm interested in that because you're creating the world from scratch, whereas you have something like He-Man, which has its own lore already. Although Conan the Barbarian, one might argue that it isn't the same because it's based off the books, but at the same time, John Milnes kind of he done his own kind of movie. He didn't kind of totally copy the Conan stories and the Conan comics.
Mm-hmm.
But Andrew, who would be your favorite villain?
My favorite villain, again, I said that David Bowie is the only right answer because I think he is. He's very evil and relentless, but also has this great sense of humor to him, and he's very suave. He's not a straight up evil villain. He's more fun, and sometimes you do want to trust him. Barring him, though, definitely the Horned King and Black Cauldron.
Mark, what about yourself? Your favorite villain, horror villain, or not horror villain, fantasy sorcery villain?
Queen Kedron from Red Sonja.
Oh yeah. Which was that? Sandal Bergman. She returned. Yeah, she originally owned fucking Conan as Conan.
She was in
And then
Conan
came out
Barbarian,
villain.
and then came back as the main villain in Red Sonja.
Yeah. She had a pet spider as well. This big rubbery scary spider, if I'm not mistaken. Deacon, favorite fantasy kind of sword and sorcery villain?
I know it's not strictly sword and sorcery because it's based mostly in modern day, but Nexus from Fern Belly.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
That's the 90s.
Oh, damn it. 80s.
What about the Last Unicorn? What about the villain from the Last Unicorn? Would you put the bull? Does he turn into a bull? If I'm not mistaken. Would you put him up there? Do you want me to come back to you?
Yeah.
Trenchy.
About my favorite
Trenchy.
villain.
Yeah, what's up?
Who's your favorite villain from fantasy, sword and sorcery fantasy movies?
That's hard, man. Does it have to be a main villain, or can it be a henchman, or?
It can be a henchman if you want.
One that really sticks out to me is I think his name's Calibos from. Again, I'm gonna go back to
Calibos from
I love that movie.
Clash of the Titans. Yeah, he's
yeah, I love that movie, and he always sticks out to me. He has a very good design, and he sets up most of the traps throughout the movie. And and with the big monsters, you got like the Kraken and the Gorgon. I think he holds his ground, so it's like, yeah.
Actually, Trenchy, you've given me a great idea for a question. Favorite monster or creature kind of in a sword and sorcery fantasy movie? There isn't many of them because some movies were restrained by budget. But Ethel, would you say the snake from Conan, or would you go with another creature from another fantasy movie?
I really liked that snake. It like when he was killing it, it didn't look the most real, but the scenes leading up to it kind of built it up. And I thought it was going to be a longer fight the first time I saw the movie because like they had the eye and they're like, is it awake? Is it asleep? And then they wake it up accidentally. And I don't know. I thought it'd be bigger.
I remember when I was younger, I got confused because I remember Tulsa Doom turned into a snake, and I thought that was him. I thought he had actually fucking yay, Conan's killed the villain 25 minutes in. But no, it's obviously a snake cult. But yeah, that snake kicked ass. Mark, favorite monster or creature from a 80's sword and sorcery fantasy movie?
The Kraken.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm right there with you, Trimshy. I loved Clash of the Titans, and the Kraken was phenomenal.
Yes, man, dude. Just seeing that thing come out of the fucking water and shit for the first time was amazing. As a kid.
Again, it's a sign of how great of an animator he was that he gave it so much fucking. It wasn't just a static fucking puppet or anything like that. He literally brought that to life. Deacon, what about yourself? Favorite creature from a monster movie?
Okay, well, I technically
Or
have
from an 80s sword and sorcery movie?
have two answers for you. One is to answer the previous question: which villain would I like to meet?
Mm-hmm.
Omodon from The Flight of Dragons.
I've never seen that movie. When did that come out?
Came out in the early 1980s.
I need to check. Is it animated or live action?
Oh, it's animated. Basically, the premise and idea of the movie is there are two worlds, the fantasy world and our world. And a magic spell cast by someone in the fantasy world brings over a science-loving nerd from our world and takes it to theirs, and he gets turned into a dragon, and he has to learn how to live there. It's an interesting little thing.
Before we go on, Sadie, it is Falcor, and I need to show you guys something. Trinchy has seen this before, but I will be back momentarily.
Okay. If I had to pick one, guys, I would go with the Eberisk from Willow, because I love that tinsel design. That is just a nasty looking dragon. They got the name because George Lucas had an issue with Siskel and Ebert, so he just called it the Eberisk, which I think is fantastic. But it's what happens. Willow turns a troll into a piece of shit, then kicks the troll shit into the water, and then it mutates into this turkey-looking dragon. But it is so fucked up, and it's like you have Val Kilmer jumping on its back trying to fucking kill it, and he actually kills it for a finish by jamming his sword into the top of its snout and blow its mouth, and then it can't open its mouth to breathe fire, so its head explodes. I love that fucking creature. Yeah, Falcor kicks ass, and the wolf.
Yeah, man.
Oh, the emptiness scared the shit out of me.
Seeing as most of the good ones have been taken for monsters, my ones that I think are my favourite just because of how persistent they are, because you could probably rip them to parts and they still come after you. The fairies from the Labyrinth.
Oh, yeah.
I got an honorable mention as well. Oh, go ahead, Deacon. My bad.
Oh, no, I was just saying they're vicious. That's it.
Trenchy, what's your honorable mention?
I just watched Beastmaster for the first time yesterday, and I would like to mention the godlike bird demon things. I don't know what they were, but they're like bird demon type things.
Oh, harpies!
Yeah. Those were dope, man.
Do you know what, from Legend, another cool character that's always overlooked, and it's played by one of my favorite Star Trek actors, Robert Picardo. Meg Magglebones from Legend. I still, like, now that I watch it, it's like, oh yeah, that is the Doctor from fucking Voyager. He just comes up with a big green, hunched kind of Medusa-looking thing. Sorry, Ethel?
I was just gonna say, it's crazy how much stuff Robert Picardo was in before he was on Voyager. It's like, it's mind-boggling because he turns up everywhere.
He was, along with Dick Miller, he was like another one of Joe Dante's kind of Lucky Charm actors, like. Let's see. Space Woman. Sorceress of Source Griffith versus a Space Naked. What, Ben? What fucking movie is that?
Oh, I think it's called Sorceress. We were discussing this the other night.
Oh
There's-
yeah, the Roger Corman movie, 1982, Sorceress.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they had two. It was called Sorceress, but it was two playmates. They had two playmates in it. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
you know they actually almost got arrested for tax evasion.
Really?
Yeah, they got out of it. Another fun fact about Sorceress, I just watched it last night again, so I have it all fresh in my mind. The music from Sorceress was actually taken from another Roger Corman film, Battle Beyond the Stars.
Oh, right. That's Roger Corman. He has to pinch the pennies, like, you know. Speaking of Roger Corman, has any seen a movie called Deathstalker?
It
No.
Boy,
rings
That's-
bells.
that's a movie
It's a very cheap Conan knockoff.
with a very questionable hero. So the movie opens.
Yeah, the hero in that movie is as worse as the villain sometimes.
Yeah. So the movie opens. The hero stopping a woman being gang raped by Neanderthals, only for himself to set himself upon her, only to be distracted and for her to get away. Then later on, our main villain wants to assassinate Deathstalker, so he changes his henchman into a woman, and then, oh god, this is terrible. And then Stalker proceeds to attempt to rape said henchman who's now been turned into a henchman. And you're like,
What if you started talking about while I was gone? What happened?
Deathstalker! Deathstalker, Andrew. You have to watch Deathstalker.
We have a fun sponge in the chat as well.
Hey, Sponge.
Hello,
Hello,
Spongy.
So,
It's all Corman's fault, Anthro. It's all Roger Corman's fault.
Like there's even
I
an
love you, Roger
orgy
Corman, but
scene.
why?
It's like Deathstalker walks in and there's people fighting and like putting themselves on women, and it's like, what the fuck? It's the weirdest thing. And then you've Deathstalker friend for no reason decides to swing off the fucking chandelier while all this fucking madness is going on. It is a fantastic movie. It's a terrible movie. If you have beer, watch this movie. That's all I'll say.
Oh,
well, the thing is,
Go on.
oh, go ahead, Apple.
I was just going to say, I will defend somewhat these movies because, in general, the sword and sorcery genre seems to be a very horny genre.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know what it was. It was
especially the Pulp
1980s.
Fiction.
Oh, sorry, Deacon, go right ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was about to say, yeah, just look at their Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I was about to say, I even noticed hints of that in Beastmaster when I watched it yesterday. Like, he takes his tiger, or panther, it's a panther, and, like, uses it to scare the girl, so then she will have to have sex with him because he saved her life. Like, what the fuck?
And Reggie, doesn't it turn out she sees his cousin or something? They're related by blood.
Yeah, it's his cousin, but they still have a romance. It still feels like it's kind of romantic at the end, which is weird. Like, they make out. No, they make out at the end of the movie, but it is his cousin. A distant cousin, but still.
Sounds like a Luke and Leia situation.
Yeah, but Luke and Leia stop. Yeah, at the end of the movie, they know, and they go all in it. Like, he's all up in her mouth. Like,
But at the end of the day, look at the source material. All of them were copying Conan the Barbarian. And if you read Robert E. Howard's novels or comics or any of the literature, like, there's a brilliant line where Conan rescues a woman from a giant stegosaurus and she faints, and he's like, women, did the gods make them for anything but to be loved? And it's like, what the fuck?
And even the first Conan
that's
movie
why-
has a somewhat orgy scene in it.
Yeah, like when Conan's like resting between gladiatorial missions, don't they? Like, they put a woman in with him like satisfy him, but also to breed more warriors. It's just fucking hell, like Jesus Christ.
Arthur, you're not allowed to ruin swords and wands for me.
Okay, so we're like, oh, for fuck's sake, guys, come on. We're not even an hour in. Wait for the hour mark before that shit. Andrew, you got something to show us?
Oh yeah. So this is my little. I don't know if you can see him because he keeps getting overshadowed by my cloud of hair. But this is.
Give me 1 second, guys. Hang on.
All right. So this is Falcor. He is my shoulder dragon. I got him at a Ren Fair years ago, and he moves, and he's adorable.
That is wicked, man.
Oh,
Thank you. I call him Jareth sometimes because he does have the 80s Bowie hair going on and the glitter.
Hell yeah.
That's class. Oh, but yeah, no. So do you think that you could do like, okay, we've had things like Xena and stuff like that, but do you think that sword and sorcery movies could make a comeback? Like, I know we've had Lord of the Rings and we've had The Hobbit and Harry Potter, but could you see a very kind of edgy kind of sword and sorcery movie making a comeback?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I still love sword and sorcery and high fantasy. I've still been trying to write some of that in my spare time, and I think you could do it in a way that was very much a love letter to the sword and sorcery movies of the 80s, but still being modern. I think that you could definitely have a comeback.
Like,
Well,
so go for it, Richie.
no, you can go ahead, Marty. My bad.
No, you go.
No, I was gonna say, well, we have things like Game of Thrones. I know that's going back from the 90s, but we got things like that. We got things like shows like Atlantis. That was
Yeah,
like early
I
2000s.
some of them were good, and like we had like other TV shows like Legend of the Seeker and Xena and stuff like that. A lot of stuff coming out of New Zealand, but I don't know. Do you think we'd ever get like an R-rated fantasy movie, or do you think just the no studio would risk that?
I think we could still get some stuff. I'd like to see. You see so many indie and low-budget horror and sci-fi movies. You don't see a lot of just rough, low-budget fantasy stuff recently, at least.
Yeah.
Seeing.
I did see a movie that you guys might be interested in. It's a horror movie. It's called Orcs, and it's set in.
I've seen the trailer for that.
Basically, a forest ranger and a couple of cops and people have to stop. For some reason, a bunch of orcs just fucking come forward. If you get a chance, definitely check it out. But yeah, no, that's like, all in all, I love that genre, and I think it was at its peak in the 80s. I despite Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, I think that stuff is more kind of aimed towards a more cinematic dynamic. Although with Thrones, it definitely keeps us 1 foot in the pulp, kind of really gritty pulp storyline. But I can't see a kind of self-contained story like that being told. Sorry, Andrew, go on.
One thing that has been adapted, but if it had been adapted differently, I think would have had a much more 80s feel to it, is Neil Gaiman's Stardust. If you've seen that movie, it is one of my favorite movies. But the book, I haven't read all of it, but it is so violent and erotic and dark and heartless that it would have, if it had been adapted as an R-rated verbatim thing, it would have felt like an R-rated 80s deal.
I think though, whereas things like Game of Thrones is on the small screen and on HBO, so you have to be an adult to get it. No studio is risking to back an a heavily R-rated fantasy movie. I don't know, would it be? There's very few R-rated sci-fis coming out now.
They tend to shy from. Oh, sorry, Trenchy.
Oh no, you can go ahead, Apple. I'll go after you.
I was going to say real quick, the studios tend to shy away from R-rated movies in general nowadays because they feel like it limits the amount of money they're going to make off the picture. So they'll push for the PG-13 rating even when it would make more sense if it was an R rating. That's why you get all these PG-13 horror movies that aren't really scary and aren't really what they used to be. Go
Yeah, it's to try and appeal to the most mass-wide audience as you can. So yeah, no, that's my thought on it. Oh God, yeah, the Scorpion King. They're still making direct-to-video fucking Scorpion King sequels.
Still?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, sure. The
Yeah.
WWE have their own studio now, Andrew, and that's mainly where they're coming out of. Didn't see Scorpion. I'm just going over to Creepy Phil's in the chat. Hey there.
Hey, Phil.
Hey Phil. Yeah, Ben Grimm says there's 5 or 6 Scorpion movies.
Hello, Creepy Phil.
Cubic Lover says, didn't the Scorpion films come out of Brendan Fraser's The Mummy films? Yes, they did.
Yes.
Going up to what Kubrick Lover said earlier, he was talking about Roger Corman starting a lot of big directors, said Cameron, Scorsese. Really helped Francis Ford Coppola when he was starting out, produced his first movie, Dementia 13, and Francis Ford Coppola did some of the reshoots on The Terror as well. So yeah, helped a lot of directors get their foot in the door.
Corman got so many people's feet in the door, be it directors and actors.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is, he never you never see him really calling in a favor. He never was like, oh yeah, here, send some money my way or send some attention my way, and we can make a bigger flick. No, he was just content to make his more contained, smaller budget movies.
But I mean, Joe Dante still likes to bring him back into things. I love his cameo in The Howling, where he walks into the phone booth and starts trying to get change out of it. That was sort of their joke about Corman always trying to save a buck and get some extra money out of something.
I do love the irony of James Cameron working on an Alien knockoff, and then 2 years later to make his own fucking actual sequel to Aliens. Apparently, he learned a lot of his craft from them.
Yeah, I bet it will.
Oh yes, and Kubrick Lover, Jack Nicholson for sure. Again, he was the main character in The Terror. He had a bit part in The Raven. He plays the masochistic dental patient in the original Little Shop of Horrors, and he's great.
Yes.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Yes.
You know, we're talking sword and sorcery, and nobody's mentioned the barbarians with the brothers, the twin brothers.
Twin brothers. Yes.
I've never seen that. Who's in it? Or is there anyone
It's these two huge fucking brothers who look like they could be wrestlers, David and Peter Paul. They're huge. They're like my size. Like arms like tree trunks.
I've not seen that movie. I gotta check it out. But there's just so fucking much. I mean,
there is.
You kind of think of all
about it.
Yeah, there's so much. I actually before we did this, I made a quick list of movies. This is my quick list.
Go hit us.
Oh God!
Okay, let's go out there for a second. Let's see the list. Hit us with the list. Come on. Call it.
All right, I had to mention Outlaw of Gore. I mentioned this in a previous stream. That's the movie where the guy's got the ring or the gem, and it transports him to another dimension that's actually sword and sorcery. And we also had Hawk the Slayer, Deathstalker's 1, Deathstalker's The Warriors from Hell, Ator 1 through 3, Conan 1 through 2, Conan the Destroyer. Also had the Barbarians on there, Mark. Legend, Willow, Masters of the Universe was on there. Amazons was on there. Hercules with Lou Ferrigno, that was 1981. Excalibur.
Is that the one where he throws the bear in space and it becomes a constellation?
What about someone boy and dad?
And when he did that, it was a real Kodiak moment.
No, I didn't have that on here. I had Fire and Ice on here. That's an animated one. Hundra.
If I'm not mistaken.
Heavy Metal. Also had Heavy Metal on here.
That's
Uh,
a
Yeah, there's segments
huge
of that
fucking
that are
movie.
sword.
Devil's Sword had that on here. Dragon Slayer, The Last Unicorn, Black Cauldron, Sorceress, and Warrior Queen is really bad and shouldn't be on this list. That's more like a direct-to-video, vivid style production. Has Donald Pleasance in it though.
It's just mental to think that like one movie. I think Conan was the bigger catalyst out of all of them that spawned these kind of movies, and for better or worse, we got some good ones out there. I forgot about Dragon Slayer. I picked up Dragon Slayer there on DVD recently, and forgot how dark it got. I mean, the princess gets eaten. Her innards get eaten by baby fucking dragons. That's like bad ass. And
I
the
gotta
hero-
see this.
the hero Peter McNeil from Ally McBeal. Shit.
I know this might sound strange because it might be reaching, but what about the adventures of Baron von Munchausen?
Yeah, maybe. You could also put, if you're doing that though, you could also put Time Bandits in there as well, Deacon.
Time Bandits is fucking hysterical. I love that movie.
Yeah, Time Bandits is great. I really like that one.
I love it, but every time I sit down to watch people with it, I laugh at the ending, and they're kind of like, "You sick fuck."
It was
I gotta
pretty.
see.
It was pretty fucking. It was pretty shitty what happens in the end.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah,
I
Meg Microphones kicks ass.
but after all of that, it's kind of like, I just can't help but laugh at the ending. It's kind of like, yes, it. Oh god, yes.
Did he get on with his parents though?
No, not really.
Yeah, fuck him.
He was more dependent on them. Than anything.
He'd be grand. Harry Potter turned out fine. He'd be grand.
But warning, if you are going to watch Time Bandits, either watch it with a friend so you can giggle, watch it drunk, or do what I do and just make sure that your mind's in the right space.
Have any guys read the original 70s or 80s Conan comics?
Nope.
I have not.
They are so bad. Again, I know some of the lines are a bit dodgy, Antro, but some of the shit he says, like there's a bit where he's being choked to death and he's making fun. More, your hands are too small, and Cretchet to crush my larynx, and he starts strangling the other guy. Here's how you do it. And then there's another bit where there's a pirate ship out in the middle of nowhere, and Conan just rises up on deck, and they're like, "How the fuck did you get here?" And he's like, "I swam." But yeah, no, it's a great movie, or it's a great run of comics, and you should definitely check them out. They're awesome, they're brilliant. But yeah, no, if anyone gets a chance, check out Marvel's old run of the comics.
I feel like a lot of the movies.
Oh, sorry.
I feel like a lot of the movies to come out of the barbarian sword and sorcery kind of thing were not just inspired by Conan, but also inspired by the John Carter book and series of books.
Yeah, like you had Robert E. Howard, and you also had obviously Edgar Rice Burroughs, who done both John Carter and Tarzan, and they were very kind of high fantasy pulp and the like. But yeah, no, just trying to think. No, if there's nothing really else. I think we've covered everything, guys. What do you reckon? Is there anything else you want to bring up about the topic?
I never got around to saying what my favorite creature was. I would say definitely the Gorgon from Clash of the Titans. It's just a little beyond human, and the way Harryhausen animated all the snakes moving individually is beautiful.
Yeah, that must have been so time consuming. Actually, guys, I'm after forgetting
all that
something
in his
else.
head too, which is stunning.
I'm after forgetting something else, although I think it might dwell into the 90s. Does anyone remember Jim Henson's The Storyteller? He had two versions. He had the classical tales, and he also had the Greek tales. But do you remember episodes of that?
Watched both and memorized first season.
I watched those a ton when they were on Netflix years ago. That was probably around the same time I saw Clash of the Titans for the first time as well. I also found the graphic novels that they did based on that, which were gorgeous as well.
I gotta check them out.
It was just an awesome series.
Can I bring up one more thing?
Yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Go first.
I just want to say one more thing about Clash of the Titans that I love is it's a beautiful movie. It's very bright and very vibrant, which is something I feel like the remake failed at because the remake was like very gritty, very pale colors, but the first one was beautiful, very vibrant colors. The monsters, scary some of them look. They all look beautiful in their own way, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, it's a dark story, but it's really, really lush, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I have to agree.
I feel like that's something that's lost in modern cinema is the beauty of film and the scope of things. But with all our digital technology and all the filters they like to throw up on the screen.
To some extent,
Yeah,
I love a lot of modern fantasy too. So what am I saying? But
I
you're right.
do miss practical effects and the like. Yeah, puppetry. Like puppetry.
I'm just
seems
saying
to
even
be
the color
fine art.
palette.
Oh, the color palette is a big part of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes even a good matte painting in the background when they shoot it right and they have it lit perfectly, you can buy it as real.
Yeah,
Mhm.
again, like even John Carpenter's movies, The Thing, where the matte paint in a spaceship looks fantastic still to this day, or the backgrounds of Hartley's Hope and Aliens, they're all matte paintings. So like that's something that needs to come back. But yeah, no. Let's see how the chat's going. Cooper Clever says I met Ray Harryhausen when I was 13. How is the Dark Crystal TV show? Is it good? It's fantastic.
It is really
Cooper
cool.
Clever. Funspence said he watched it the other day. Haven't seen it either. Art, check it out, dude. It kicks ass.
The only critique that I would give it is because there isn't a second season, there are a lot of plot holes that lead into the movie.
But that's not their fault. They got canceled.
Yeah,
I know it's not their fault, but because of it, it does lead to that problem. So you have to.
Maybe it might get picked up again, or maybe it might get crowdfunded or something. Never say never. I don't know.
It might get crowdfunded for $100,000 an episode.
Never know. Even if we got a one-off movie just to branch the two, I think that like an hour and a half movie, that will work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God!
We'll have to see if Disney does anything with it.
What else were you gonna say? Is there any other movie or genre that you think we've kind of overlooked when it comes to 80s fantasy? Or I think we've covered all the bases, guys.
Yeah, I think the only ones we didn't cover were TV shows.
And we dug into that a little bit.
Yeah. Was there many 80s? Now I'm going to keep the 80s. I'm going to keep the rule to 80s. Was there any 80s fantasy TV shows?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, animated one.
As far as
It was the Conan animated series. Although that was the 90s, though.
As far as TV animated shows go, you couldn't get more sci-fi and fantasy than either He-Man or Thundercats.
Visionaries.
You're right.
Yep, the Visionaries, Knights of the Magical Light.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else.
I mean, is there any more iconic sword in television more than either the Sword of Omens or the sword from Castle Grayskull?
A power sword.
I suppose one question that we could ask ourselves is, has the age of sorcery and fantasy either grown since the 80s or has it shrunk?
I think
it's
I would say it's grown or shrunk. I think it's stayed right in the middle where it was.
I think it's. I would say it hasn't grown, but it hasn't shrunk either. It's just shifted into something a little different.
Yeah, exactly.
It had that revival in the 90s where you had Hercules, Xena, you had Sinbad, You had the spin-off Young Hercules, and you had basically a lot of that stuff. It sort of had a brief revival, but kind of died out in the span of 5 or 6 years.
I knew Kevin Smith directed 2 episodes of Young Hercules. It's weird.
Yeah, the only reason I bring it up is because in the Western world it seems to have either stagnated or shrunk a little bit. But if you go to the Eastern world, sword and fantasy and sorcery has actually become a major big thing over there. They actually produce more of the stuff than people in the West have ever done.
Yeah, particularly in China and India, there is a lot of kind of costume, kind of fantasy dramas and stuff like that.
Even with anime.
Yeah. Well, do you think if someone proposed the idea of Goblin Slayer as live action and made it in the 80s, it would have gotten made, Deacon?
If it had the same people who had made Conan behind it, then probably.
Yeah.
But it
I would watch
completely slated.
I would watch that.
I'm still amazed that in this day and age that anime got fucking made.
Yeah. Any anime that has goblin on human rape within the first 12 minutes is a bit.
Pardon?
Yeah, within the first 12 minutes, there's goblin on human rape.
No, thank you.
Oh, Amfro, it gets better. The hero, like murders a bunch of goblin children, like right after.
Goblin babies, toddlers.
Yeah,
Murder. Murder I can handle. I hate to say that, as horrible as it is, but murder I can handle.
No, they're babies.
I get that.
You know they're babies, and it would be horrible and hard to watch, but I would still sit for it. Not the rape, though.
I need to make you watch it.
You don't. You can't.
Yes, I do. I need to expand your horizon.
Amfro, he did this to me. We'll put together.
Oh, even Sadie's behind the idea. She's going, ha, the pardon?
I watched it too, right? And when I went in, I was like, oh, this is very Yu-Gi-Oh kind of style animation, very chibi kind of cutesy characters. And the whole thing is very tongue-in-cheek. Oh, we're a paladin, let's go on a quest. And it's like, yay, and then to get into the cave, and it's like, why are they tearing off that girl's blouse? Why is that kid being poisoned? Why is that girl paralyzed and those goblins are taking her clothes off?
Oh no!
And why is this kid being hacked to bits and slowly consumed?
Yeah, it's fucking insane. Like, doesn't one of the girls piss herself as well out of fright?
Yeah, and the bizarre thing is that it's one of the more tamer episodes. It's more extreme when it comes to the first 12 minutes, but after that, yeah, it's one of the more tame episodes.
Here, do you know what, Deacon? Track down Antro, a Region 1 box set, and just mail it out to him.
Oh God!
You have to watch it then. You have to watch it.
I don't need to do that. Do you know why? I could send it all to him via email.
Yeah, but he won't feel obligated if you send it to him physically.
Yeah, if you send me a physical copy, I won't feel obligated to watch it. Jen and Christian sent me this terrible, low-budget Coraline ripoff movie that I know I'm going to hate, but they sent me a DVD of it, so I know I'm going to watch it anyway. It's called Caroline and the Magic Potion.
Oh God, you're in for fun. You are seriously in
after I watch
fun.
that. But I feel obligated to watch it because they sent me a physical copy.
Oh, in that case, I know what I'm going to have to get for you for Christmas.
Burn the episodes and send them over and just explain to him how dear the post will cost.
Oh, yeah, I'll get all the episodes, including the movie.
There's a movie?
Yeah, they made a movie.
Hey, Frenchie, look, a series isn't enough to contain all that goblin rape. You need that.
I know, man. It's like it's like the whole movie, like goblin rape. Is that like the whole movie?
Oh no, the movie goes into not rapey territory, but very, very blood, guts, glory. Let's hoist the goblins up on spicks and carry them around as trophies.
That sounds dope. It was weird.
The gore more than the sexual content is the thing.
It's the first episode that it actually gets depicted. The rest of it, it's just alluded to.
I think the first episode is just to catch your attention. It's like here, slap in the face. Now you're going to pay attention to us.
I'm interested in the series because that first episode was like when they start doing it, it's like damn. But it's crazy. But it's like it kind of is like I want to see what happens next though. Like I don't agree that the goblins should be raping people, but I kind of want to see where this is gonna go.
I want to know what happens next, but I want to enjoy watching that.
I never fucking heard.
You need to.
I want to see where this. What the fuck?
I can explain why the goblins have to do it if you want.
Go first.
Yeah, I would like to know why they're raping people. That's like,
They don't know that no one
Consider goblins more like xenomorphs. There's only one type. They only come in male form, and each time that they have sex with a human, it produces goblin offspring. Pure goblin offspring.
That semi makes sense.
Not
that they should be raping people, but maybe they could ask them if they could fuck them to make more. I don't know.
Yes, it should be consensual.
They should be taking them out on goblin dates and buying them goblin flowers and goblin chocolates.
Yes, at least buy them goblin dinner first.
Oh, I would agree, but everyone's first instinct is to kill a goblin.
Go to a nice Italian goblin restaurant,
Then you can take them to your goblin house, goblin bed, have goblin sex, and have goblin kids.
Make sure that's all there, goblin.
Unless you're male, in which case, you won't be having that one. They'll be having you over for dinner.
That's biased.
What if they're bi goblins?
Yeah.
If they're bi goblins, they'll probably keep you as a sex slave.
That's mean.
Not as amazing.
Yeah.
Sex slave.
So would we be like gimps? It would be like fucking Pulp Fiction, bring out the gimp.
Remember, viewers, tune in every Sunday evening.
It's kind of like walking into a goblin cave. Hello, I'm a goblin. This is my human gimp. His name is Jerry.
I get an image of Star Trek. You know where Kirk has that midget on his back and he's riding him around. I just see that kind of like he ends up becoming a goblin's mount.
Wait, there is midget riding in Star Trek? I gotta watch that now.
Technically, there's midget tossing in Star Trek.
Ethel, what's the episode with the guy on Kirk's back using him as a horse?
Plato's stepchildren.
That's the one.
And in an outtake, Kirk stands up too fast and knocks him flying.
You know you're in trouble on your goblin date when your goblin brings out a ball gag.
You be gobbling something then. I'm okay. That's the last time I'm going to use that joke. I swear. I promise.
It's a pretty good joke. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, so I just realized how much of a hypocrite I am because I did make myself read all of Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches book, and there's so much horrible rape and incest throughout all of them, and yet I don't even know what happens next. So
yeah, and there's no incest in Goblin Slayer, so at least it has that.
Come here. Antro.
When that's the bottom line for it being okay, wow.
Antro, PM Trenchy the title in the chat. You might want to read that.
What? I do kind of want to read it, but I know you got to read all the Anne Rice books to read that. But no.
What?
No, I heard it's a good story. But anyways, no, it's not. I do not want to watch the things because they're raping it. You know, it's just an aspect. I think the story is interesting.
I think you would like the books, though. They do have a really fascinating story, but they go way too far with.
I mean,
incest.
Yeah,
Game of Thrones has incestual rape, so.
Look, come here. I hate to break it to you, Trenchy, but Basic Instinct is not a romantic comedy. That's all I'll just fucking say, okay?
Nah. I know that Basic Instinct is Titanic's the romantic comedy. Basic Instinct is a good movie.
Where a bunch of people.
Titanic's a remake.
How is a movie where a bunch of people drown a comedy?
Mm-hmm.
Any movie where Leonardo DiCaprio drowns is funny in my book.
It's a rehash. It's a fucking remake.
And that's because for some reason I just like his expression when he's going into the water. He's just so surprised and yay, I'm dying.
Bitch, pull me onto this cupboard. They could have both. Fuck it, he's
Dude,
Kyle
the
Reese.
thing is,
Cameron repurposing Kyle Reese.
See, even the chat's
just
on our
on top
side.
of her.
Anthro, even the chat's on our side. The chat's going, no incest, no incest. Goblin Slayer, there's only one scene of rape. Bah!
That makes it all better, doesn't it?
By the way, I would like to mention I do not condone rape or incest. I do not like rape or incest. I just like interesting stories that may or may not have rape or incest in it.
But they would be so much better without them in there, wouldn't they? That said, I've also heard people argue for using
never
as story just to add to the horror and discomfort. But
would Anne Rice's books be any better if they removed the incest and rape?
Well, here's the problem. It's a plot point in the Mayfair Witches. It's part of the story.
Yeah, and it's a plot point in Goblin Slayer, and it's a plot point in Rising of the Shield Hero. I know. There's a difference. Well, I think we've made Anthro uncomfortable enough.
You're fine. Again, I've put myself through this before. I can do it again.
I like how Trash is just like, screw this, I'm out of here. He just went to disappear. He's like, I could leave me out of this one. I'll come back.
Which I'm glad he abbreviated it, and it didn't. Every time I've been on a stream or watched a stream for throughout this month so far, someone has said, "I'll be right back," and I'm like, I've binged Scream over the past couple months, all 4 movies and all 3 seasons of the TV show. So, every time someone says I'll be right back, I notice it instantly, and I'm like, stop.
Yeah,
I love Scream.
I do that in people's Twitch streams all the time. They say, "I'll be right back." They say, "I'll be right back." And I say, "You realize you're gonna die."
I'll be right back.
You gotta do it like Arnold. You just say, "I'll be back."
But what did Arnold and go back?
Oh shit.
Everyone's digesting the rape and incest comments. Just
Yeah,
There we just won our entire demographic.
I don't like this conversation either, but I think
everyone's condoning it. I don't like rape and incest either. It's just it can be interesting plot points and stories.
Don't worry.
Again, it has an important aspect for which
we know you do. It's all right.
Trenty, it's fine. We know you're not into that thing. If you were, your favorite movie would be a Serbian film.
Oh, fuck that. I can't do that.
I'm never watching that movie. Don't bring it up.
I don't
just want to make that clear.
It.
I know you guys are cool with it. I just want to make that clear for the one guy in the back. And it's like, I don't want to be like my house raided by the police.
All right, you hear
He
that,
said they're
Jerry?
on the couch.
You hear that, Jerry and Kevin? He's joking. Don't call the cops.
Yeah, they're sitting there watching like a movie on the couch, like watching Everybody Loves Raymond. All of a sudden, there's like a SWAT team pointing guns at you. Like,
Yeah, I remember hearing.
Oh God! Ah, no. Trenchy, are you the real East Area rapist?
what? What is that?
Can I just springboarding off of this a little bit? I remember Guillermo del Toro talking about the one time the police came into his house because they thought or his man cave rather, because they thought he was holding a body there.
Oh dear lord!
Oh God!
Because his man cave is full of like full scale models of different horror characters, and he has Linda Blair from The Exorcist who sits on his couch. And the police saw her through the window, and there's a girl who's been sitting on your couch for 20 minutes, and she hasn't moved. We think she might be dead. We're breaking into your house.
It's just like in Christmas Vacation. They all come in through the windows off Zipline.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, Ethel, when I said that shit. I was thinking of Christmas Vacation.
I hope they reimbursed him for breaking into his home for a false report or allegation.
Dude, they broke into his home and they broke into the neighbor's home too. They didn't even go. They went into both houses for no reason. Like the second house they didn't even need to go into.
It's like when people get swatted. They just say, "Oh, sorry, my bad," and then they leave quietly.
Yeah, it's like, dude, my door is gone. You can't just leave. My door is gone.
Cop's just like, "Well, I'm glad I didn't shoot you. I would have been put on administrative leave."
But yeah,
It's like they're raping your fridge too. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna take a ham sandwich for my troubles. You know,
you see
I
this
thought you were
chicken?
really.
You see this chicken? We knew you touched it. We're taking it for evidence. It's got fingerprints on it.
What the fuck are you talking about ham sandwiches for? What if I walk back into it?
Them chicken are nice, but they'll never taste our chicken.
Up again. Come here.
Anthro?
I was just saying, I brought up the one time Guillermo del Toro talked about when the police broke into his man cave because he has a full-scale Linda Blair from The Exorcist that sits on the couch, and they thought he was keeping a body in his house because they saw it through the window.
That guy has no fucking luck when it comes to law enforcement or stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he had to take a loan off James Cameron to pay for the return of his father by a Mexican cartel.
Yeah, and that was while he was making Mimic, and the studio was giving him hell too. So bad time for him.
Yeah, no, fuck, Jesus Christ. And Cameron said, "Look, give me your notebook, and you won't have to pay me back." And in an interview, he says, "I'm glad I got my father back, but I really wish I kept my notebook." And it's like, okay. Let's have a look at these comments in the chat.
I'm waiting for you to notice the one from Art.
Okay, Spongy. Dude, don't fucking call it.
I know, right? I want to make it very clear. I do not rape people, mannequins, or small animals. I don't rape anything. I am anti-rape.
Art, don't encourage this. This is gone horribly wrong.
Trenchy, the trench coat flasher, and East Side rapist.
But by the end of the stream, Trenchy's going to be on 2 watch lists: the FBI and the CIA. Jeez.
I might be already on a terrorist watch list, but that's a different story.
Oh God.
If anyone wants to kind of give me a Patreon or something, because YouTube will never ever monetize that.
I was about to say, good luck ever getting monetized ever.
Dude, set up a Patreon. I'm sure people will put money into it.
You'll have to give me money for your OnlyFans account, Trenchy. I'm gonna make an OnlyFans account for you,
No,
Trenchy.
we're not
Yep. But Marty,
doing that.
I still need to sign up for a lot of people's Patreons, but I looked at Queenie's Patreon a while back, and there was a thing on there saying you would reenact the Notebook with dinosaurs if they got a certain amount of patrons.
Has she reached that level yet?
I'm not sure. I will have to check.
Yeah, I will do that.
I think she's either close to it or she did.
I'll double check, but I will actually recreate the movie The Notebook using only dinosaurs.
But yeah, I don't know why. I've still got Goblin Slayer on my mind because I don't know if I should poke the bear more.
How do you mean? Like, I'm not showing any clips on my channel.
Oh, no. Basically, the only thing that makes it slightly worse in the first 12 minutes, the only thing, is the fact that all of the adventurers in that group are 15 or under.
I kind of gathered that. In fact, I actually thought they were younger.
Yeah.
But again, it's Japan. Oh, Japan.
Now we're all on the watch list, Deacon.
Yes, I know. We're all on the list.
We're all gonna have to go up to our next door neighbors and be like, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah," and fucking,
That's what are you, Trenchy?
keep your children away from me, please.
Luckily, we're not endorsing any crimes, sharing crimes. We're being good.
Dude, my mom's gonna be so mad at me now. She's gonna be like, "God damn it! Now we can't have trick or treaters. God damn it!"
So you can have trick or treaters, you just can't be in the house.
I think I told you the story once on Kara's stream where we scared away our only trick or treaters one year.
Enlighten us again, dude. Enlighten us.
So we had set up. This was the year that we decided to just go all out with our decorations. We had dry ice fog in the yard. We had a speaker playing creepy music, and we had rigged up this creaky old fence we had on our old house with fishing line running through the window so we could pull it open, and it looked like it was opening by itself. And we lived in a neighborhood where we barely got any trick-or-treaters, and my dad told me this later because I was out trick-or-treating, but when I got back, he told me that he had turned the music off, he had turned the lights out, and he was going to go away because he thought he wasn't going to get any more trick-or-treaters. As soon as he did that, a few preteens started walking up to our door. So he ran back, he turned on the music as fast as he could, and right as one of them had their hand a few atoms away from the gate, he yanked it open and it slammed open this huge gust of wind had just hit it, and they screamed and ran away. And those were the trick we had gotten that year.
Aww.
They got him good. Thanks for stopping in, Kubrick Lover. Also, Art says, breaking news, the police have just arrested the Eastside trench coat mannequin molester. That's what Trenchy.
It turns out he was a dummy.
False alarm. Another mannequin in a trench coat that had fallen on top of another mannequin.
See, this is what happens when you give Trenchy a 12-inch shoulder.
Go on, Ethel?
I was just saying they frog marched him out with a trash bag around his waist.
But no. Any other kind of stuff? Anything you guys want to bring up? Have you any stuff in the pipeline, or what about you, Antro? Have you any videos you're planning on doing? You done a very awesome Class 99 review. I really enjoyed that. If you get a chance, go to this band's channel and check it out.
Thank you very much.
Water.
If you want, Antro, if you want, drop the link in the chat.
I will do that right now. And right now, currently, I'm editing a video for my top 10 horror movies of 2020. I've done a top 10 list for that, and I hope to have that out, if not tonight, tomorrow.
Cool beans.
Cool.
Deacon, what about yourself, sir? Have you any stuff in the pipeline? You said you had some technical issues, but you were going to try and rectify them. What have you got in the pipeline?
I now need to redo everything for the Ghoulies video because my editing software crashed and deleted everything, and I mean everything I have been working on for the past 18 months.
Oh. Had you any backups? Save it anywhere else?
It deleted the source files. All gone. Putski, you're done.
Did you check the auto-save?
I checked, it didn't save before it crashed. It just deleted everything.
All right, because I had that happen with the He-Man Star Wars double feature, and I was freaking out because it was pretty much done, and it was like the day before I was going to upload it. And I actually found the folder because it had saved 2 different folders because the way the Windows is set up, it does users. So I had to go under my separate users account versus the regular account, which I didn't even know they were separate. So you might want to check there if you're on Windows and you check your users.
Oh no! Luckily, I have a friend who is in IT tech support. He came over, he's given it a once over, and he's gone, I don't know what your system did, but it took every source file that was connected to your editor and has gone, nope, gone. Go back to square one, refresh, redo.
It's rough.
Is there, does shit get uploaded automatically to a cloud or anything like that? Or
No,
like that?
no, because I'm security conscious.
Okay.
So,
Andrew dropped a link to his review there. If you want to check it out, guys, it's in the chat. I
do recommend watching it. Watch his review, then watch the movie, and see if you laugh at the same moments.
Yes. I'm so happy that Deacon and I laugh. Our humor just lined up for that one specific line in Class of '99.
But I hate water.
Yeah. That moment.
You have to watch it. But that line when it comes in, when at that exact moment, it's like, oh my god, could you have said that any straight-faced, any wouldn't in that kind of situation? No, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Did you just say I hate water?
Because the guy's a robot and he's saying I hate water. I expect him to get electrocuted. He gets out of the water a few minutes later unscathed. So it's just like, what was that line? What was it?
What was it? A tease?
Oh, that reminds me of the main villain from Cyborg, where he's at the camp and he's smacking people around, and then he's like, "What do you think we're gonna swim to Atlanta? I hate water. I can't swim." And he's trying to say it intimidatingly, but it's like the funniest shit.
Also, other developments. It seems Trenchy has gotten zapped into Pleasantville because he's been rendered in black and white. What happened there, dude?
Oh, I'm in the dark. I had to switch because my house is loud, so I'm like in the back.
I don't know what way it looks, but somehow it actually looks like you're rendered in black and white now.
It's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. But also he looks like he's about to star in the Blair Witch Project.
Or a German expressionist film or some shit like that.
Yeah, he looks like... God, I can't think of what I'm trying to think of, but he looks like this isolated talking head that would be floating around and like hosting some kind of creepy horror.
Like Max Headroom.
He's doing his Herc Harvey impression from Carnival of Souls.
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Trenchy, if you can, go for it, Deacon.
Oh, no, after you, dude.
I was going to say, Deacon, Trenchy, if you can, go. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. Mamma mia, mamma mia.
He's doing the telly.
That would be really fun to attempt to do, in a stream just all find the right lighting to do that, and then attempt to sing Bohemian Rhapsody and just
That's it.
watch it turn into an absolute dumpster fire.
Thank you, Fun Sponge. Yes, you look like a young Holly
Oh, from Red
from Red
Dwarf.
Dwarf.
Oh, sweet.
I gotta watch the dwarf.
Wait, you haven't
Have
seen
you
Red
watched
Dwarf,
Red
dude?
Dwarf?
I have not.
I have not.
Oh, you're missing out.
Oh, you got to check
You-
it out. That's
You,
great.
you two need educating.
I know it's like the pinnacle of like British comedy. I know that. It's like one of the big ones.
You need educating.
Got to get yourself a Smeggin copy, as they'd say.
Just don't try and find the American version, as it's only one episode and it's trash.
Thank goodness it didn't take off. It ruined it.
Yeah.
Look at it this way, guys. There's been remakes of Space. There's been remakes of The Office. Not The Office. The Office remake was good. Sorry, not The Office. The IT Crowd. The IT Crowd remake was fucking terrible.
There was almost an American Doctor Who, believe it or not.
I can believe it.
Ow!
Yeah, if you've ever seen the Doctor Who movie with Paul McGann, that was actually a disused pilot for a American spin-off where they were going to have Paul McGann in America. That's why it takes place in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Big
but it's been
Deal,
put
right?
into continuity. And
Yeah,
he's actually fairly good. He's fair. There is a like Eric Robards fucking is totally over the top as the master, but McGann is interesting and it's got a lot of problems, but McGann saves us on some of the sillier
Yeah.
stuff.
The good news
Oh.
is, to try and save the continuity, they do turn around and say later on, after the movie ended and when the new series sparked off, that, yeah, the reason the Doctor says he's human and has only one heart is because he has a mental disorder at the time, because his brain hasn't regenerated.
Yeah.
We had two parts in the movie.
He had two. Yeah, no, Deacon. He actually had two hearts.
He had...
Because they lost the catheter in his heart when they were scoping him. When during the scene in the emergency room, they lost the catheter scoping him because he had two hearts. And they had the X-ray, and the woman there couldn't believe it. Fun fact about that film: if anybody here is a fan of Mad TV, Will Sasso is actually in that movie.
Who does he play?
He plays like just this guy in the background, but he's like in the where they're dancing before the clock strikes midnight. It's like a security guard.
I enjoyed it, and like there's a lot of silly stuff. I don't know whether I to hate or love Robards' performance or Robert's performance as the master, but it's suitably cheesy. Hey, Dino.
I liked it.
Yeah, no, it's trying to think other. Oh my God, the fucking the Americans tried doing a remake of Father Ted. Speaking. He was reverend. He was reverend. It was a very short. Steve Martin was reverend. He was something reverend. I think Theodore or some shit like that. And huh?
Anthro wants to talk.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask, regarding Doctor Who movies, what do you think of the early Peter Cushing Doctor Who movies?
Yeah, they
I
were
like
Hammer. They were actually out of Hammer. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Were they
They're
Hammer?
not canon,
Were they,
but I
were
like
they Hammer actors in them, but were they actually Hammer movies?
They were a sub-studio of Hammer. I have a history of Hammer books, intro, and they did. There was another thing that Hammer did called On the Buses. They weren't officially Hammer, but they were made at Hammer Studios, and they had a lot of executives. They were trying to branch out.
Oh,
I
all right.
believe that's how they came around to casting Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Like, I never knew the fucking Carry On movies came out of fucking Hammer. I never knew that. And it turns out, yeah, they were another subset. You know the Carry On kind of sex comedies from England? Or am I the only one?
If you've never
I know
watched,
about Carry On Screaming, but that's the only one.
if you've never watched them, don't worry. A lot of people didn't.
They They came out of Hammer. I never fucking knew that. And On the Buses came out of Hammer. It's weird. But
Speaking of comedies, though, I just watched a movie the other day directed by Terrence Fisher, who directed a bunch of the Hammer stuff, called The Horror of It All. It was really weird. Have you seen that movie?
No, might have to now.
It's like an old dark house style movie with an American going to visit his fiancée who's British and discovering this very creepy, eccentric family in this old dark house. And he's the only American character in there. Everybody's British. There's one girl in the family who looks almost exactly like Barbara Steele, but she's not. And it's kind of inferred that she's a vampire, but they never actually outright say it. And one of their cousins has been chained up in the basement because he thinks his head has been shrunken by headhunters. It's intense.
I gotta check that out.
And there's a random musical number in it, too.
Yeah, I can't go on with that.
You'll have to put the title in the chat so we can all find it later.
All right.
Well, yeah, they tried, Deacon, they tried doing a remake of Father Ted. And it was Steve Martin. Dougal was his son, and Mrs. Doyle was his wife.
Changed the dynamic. You changed the humor.
Sure, do you remember the fucking terrible Faulty Towers American remake, where instead of just simply hitting the car with a tree, you had to push it off a cliff.
Yeah, they always have to take things to the extreme. But you talking about reverends reminded me of something. I received an email yesterday to remind me of my certification.
Wait, you're certified as a reverend?
I am now a certified reverend of the Church of Life, the Church of Judas, the Church of the Satanic Underpants, and I am now waiting for my ordainship for the Church of Pastafarian.
Wait, Deacon, have you joined multiple cults?
My dad is actually a Dudist priest, and he can officiate weddings and funerals because of it.
Same as. Yeah. Cool. If you can get officiated, it's awesome. Yes, Art. I'm a registered reverend. You can call me your reverend if you wish.
So could you marry people like online here?
I can marry people. I can marry people. I can christen people. I can officiate funerals.
Oh, dude, if you outlive me, you gotta officiate my funeral.
Oh, trust me, if I officiate,
awesome.
I've already told people, if you get me to do any of your ceremonies, I will add my own twist to it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, dude, I'm going to have a clown do my eulogy. Tigers are going to eat me. I have this planned out, man. So you're definitely...
When you did that review of what movie was it even that you were reviewing, but you went through your whole funeral plan, and it was intense. I think I probably would have died if I actually went to your funeral.
Wait, so you wanted to get tigers to eat you?
Oh yeah, and we're gonna blow up what's left of
the audience too.
Oh, and just to comment, just to respond to people and comment, yes, you can call me Daddy.
Although that's actually Queenie Todd's official title, so I don't know how they would feel about that.
I come here. I tell you something though, Deacon. You'd have to smather yourself in goat's blood or some shit, because you'd be fairly thick to fucking eat. Like, I know if you starve the tiger maybe a small bit or give it ecstasy or something, it might chew on fucking stagnant meat. But I don't know. Just you'd need.
I remember that. I remember it.
The bizarre
said he wanted to die by being smothered, by being killed with tiger shit. I remember those are his exact words.
The bizarre thing is, with the right amount of money, I could actually get Trenchy sent somewhere where he would be eaten by tigers.
No, not alive. I want them to eat my dead body. Jesus.
Oh, that's
They won't
easy.
eat the fucking dead body because the meat will have gone pure shite. It's like, just because it's fucking... No way, man. No fucking way would a...
Blow up my dead body. That works better.
Well, what if
Oh,
they refrigerate it right after, and then they just bring it out cold?
Maybe.
How about a compression funeral?
Sadie,
where
that was
which
an
is where
idea I
we-
had for a quiz show about putting pedophiles in a locked house with a tiger on ecstasy. That's neither here nor there. But
Speaking of ecstasy, and no, it's not about people taking it. It's something I learnt that is very interesting. Octopuses are very, very antisocial creatures. They tend to live and hunt on their own. They only come together to mate. But it turns out that if you give octopuses ecstasy, they turn into the most sociable, huggable creatures on the planet. They can't get enough of each other.
Why? Who's giving the octopuses
have you tried
ecstasy?
this?
Scientists gave octopuses ecstasy.
And apparently, this is completely out of the blue, but apparently, platypuses glow under black light.
Yep. They glow under black light. They've got venom.
I mean, like they've been like fucking blowing fucking loads on each other or some shit like that. Like,
Oh no,
like
it's
platypus is just funking on each other the whole time. Like, is that why
oh
they
no,
glow?
it's because of a certain chemical in their hair.
Ah. Which is
But
probably
also they have poisonous barbs on the end of their nails.
Yep.
Art,
Which-
you are not allowed to do sexual things with my dead body. We still don't know who owns me, so no one's doing anything to my dead body.
I tell you what, we get Deacon to decide right here, right now. Who
You are
wants
not
to
letting Deacon decide.
Are people going to play a game of rock, paper, scissors over who owns
Okay,
the
I could end this right here, right now. Trenchy,
Okay.
Trenchy,
What?
you are now a member of my flock, which means I own your soul, and seeing as I'm officiating your funeral, I own your body.
Oh, yeah, well, you won't touch my body. So
Deacon,
I'm
are you planning to
fine.
resurrect him now that you own his body? Are you going to like resurrect him or sell his body parts?
Oh no, I'll be very, very nice. All I'll do is take him to a very good taxidermist.
Oh, dude, could you resurrect me as a
Just
cockroach?
have a stuffed Trenchy in your house.
Yeah,
Well,
I've got somewhere to put my coat.
Yeah,
So you're
just
gonna
keep me stuffed in your house, but put my soul in a cockroach.
Getting a human person stuffed is not a good idea. I've watched videos on this.
I think if you get him stuffed, Deacon, you know, you could do something cute, like give him like a raccoon tail. Have a raccoon tail stitched over some tailbone, and like cute ears.
Oh god, but
Deacon's
actually
just
stuffing
gonna-
a person is not going to be pretty.
Go on, Ethel.
I was just gonna say, Deacon's gonna pull some Weekend at Bernie's shit, and he's gonna put like the shades on him, take him water skiing, about.
I need a friend when I go fishing, and he'll be quiet.
Like, oh, that's fine.
Yes. I approve of this. I am 100% okay with this.
Plus, it also means if I decide to go piranha or shark fishing, I've got the right bait.
Oh, dude, you could take out my eyeballs every once in a while and then put like weird bugs in there or like rocks or something. Or like,
Oh no! Dude, if I'm gonna go that far, then I'm just going to liquidate your flesh and articulate your skeleton.
oh well, that won't be cool. No, you could put buttons in my eyes like fucking Coraline.
Or
What about-
or you could put like you could actually put like little laser pointers in there and give him laser eyes.
Make him a
Yes.
Terminator. Yes.
Ooh.
What about just big googly eyes from the craft store?
See,
Googly
Ambrose
eyes,
got
like
those
just
guys.
giant googly eyes, yeah.
I'd love to put him into a car and tape his hands to the steering wheel and just go to San Francisco with a really steep hill, just let him roll down.
See,
Deacon,
if we could preserve him for long enough, we could leave him on the subway and just scare the shit out of people.
Oh God! Someone better call the police.
Bring him out
No.
Damn it!
They're gonna be like, we found this man's body with his eyes replaced with Google eyes.
Here, it depends, guys. It depends which subway system, because apparently numerous cases of dead bodies ride in the subway for like weeks on end.
The longest record is on an Indian train where a passenger was left decaying in a baggage car for 3 months.
Jesus.
Oh. No, but that's a baggage cart. I'm talking about actual subway train. There's been corpses just left on trains.
If we're talking New York subway, then 2 days and 7 hours.
Dude, if you're gonna leave me on a subway, right, you gotta put a tape recorder in me that will go off randomly every like 5-10 minutes with different catchphrases. That has to happen.
Yeah.
Ooh,
No.
no.
Your catchphrases, like things like "Stay frosty."
Okay, I have the perfect thing, the absolute perfect thing that we could do for Trenchy, and it is an homage as well. Dress him up like the Joker, throw him off the top of a building with a laughing box. But instead of it being laughing, it's his laugh going.
I'll be okay with that. I would be, yeah, it'd be like Jerome at the end of fucking Gotham, where he falls off the. I'd be cool with that shit.
But I also think Ethel wanted to say something, and we've been literally over talking.
I was just gonna say, you make the mistake of you do the Weekend at Bernie's thing, you take him out to the strip clubs with you, Deacon, and he gets all the lap dances. It's like, what the hell?
Well, that's because he's a big stiff.
But Trenchy, I hope you're taking notes on all of this so you can put it in your last will and testament.
Yeah, I definitely. This is definitely all going in the
Sharks, guys, where the guy died on the staff toilet, and her one went in to use it, and she thought it was Randall, and she ended up shagging the corpse. And he goes, don't worry about it. So she fucked a dead guy. My mom fucks a dead guy every day. She calls him dad. It's just.
Yay!
I think we have just broke the outro.
I've been broken for a while. It's fine.
We broke this poor young man a long time ago.
You've just broken me more. It's fine. Smaller pieces.
Yay! Jigsaw time.
Wait,
Makes sense on the
guy
street
behind
to
you.
put up with this.
But
Amber,
Trenchy,
why is there a dude behind you?
What now?
What is that dude? Who's that guy like behind you? Like he's not real. He's cardboard, I think. Yes.
That is a cutout of my great grandfather.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It was cardboard cut out of your grandfather?
My great grandfather.
is it life size?
It's close to life size. It says vote. It says it's like a vote for him thing though, because he was like, I don't want to get too political or anything, but he was like this prominent union member, and he was this really cool guy. And my dad wrote a song as a tribute to him. Cool stuff.
Oh, dope.
Fair enough.
He kind of
Nice.
looks like Rob Sterling.
Yeah.
You enter a room. It's Antro's room. There's a cardboard cutout of me.
Yeah. If the cardboard cutout of my great grandfather starts talking to me and telling me I'm in the Twilight Zone, I'm gonna believe him.
You gotta believe it. Ethel, have you anything in the pipeline that you're planning on doing or releasing, or you're still kind of in? Obviously, you're still in limbo with a gap, like. But is there anything small that you wanted to try and do, or is there any crossovers with any of us you wanted to give a go to, or?
Well, I'm gonna try and do more streams and just have you guys on. I got to figure out a night when people aren't already doing their thing, and I gotta take it.
What night suits you?
Yeah.
What night would suit you best?
Yeah, what's good for you?
Well, I'm trying to schedule around everybody else since I have like unlimited free time for a little while. So I'm just sort of seeing when people aren't doing stuff.
Well, I do know none of us have anything planned on Fridays for a while.
Yeah.
You
Oh, I thought
I
Fridays
just
was
go
Mark's
random.
night.
No Marks.
Oh,
Mark, do you use streams Friday nights?
me?
Oh, watching the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Ethel, how about we do it like it was before? It was kind of a jump rope kind of situation. Whereas Mark does it maybe one Friday and you do it another Friday, back and forth, back and forth.
Well, the thing is, we don't do it every Friday. We haven't done that in a while, man.
Yeah.
We haven't actually,
Yeah, we don't have a consistent schedule for that stuff. A lot of people like to do stuff on Friday.
That was never just my thing. That was, we all took a part in
Yeah,
that.
people were trading off on that, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a group effort. It was just something we fell into. So
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
you picked a really good movie before, the one with the caveman. With was it
yeah.
Ator? Was it that
Yeah.
Ator?
EGOT.
Ego.
Oh god, that movie.
I do
Sorry,
want to do a movie with you guys at
Yeah,
some point.
Yeah, if we want to restart that up, so we choose a movie and just have a random hangout stream while we watch, then I don't mind if we have it on Apples and change it every once in a while.
Ethel, next
don't mind
Friday.
it.
It's not too short notice for you. Next Friday, if you pick a cheesy B movie and we all hop onto your channel and watch it, how's that sound?
Yeah, what? Not this Friday, but next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday.
Yeah, I could do that.
Sounds
I
good.
gotta find us a public domain movie that's on YouTube, and we can all do that. Maybe I'll make another thing.
Yeah, if it's not on YouTube, don't worry. I can find us all a copy that will be free.
Yep, but just pick something that's outrageous.
Yeah.
True.
All right, no trouble there.
Ethel, you have been challenged. You have to find something that's outrageous for all of us.
Oh, that is a challenge. Some of you are a little bit out there with stuff.
Trenchy, what about yourself, dude? Have you any reviews or anything coming up?
I'm gonna do Beastmaster because I just watched that for the first time, so of course I'm gonna review that. Huh?
I gotta check out that movie. I've been trying to watch all of Don Coscarelli's not Phantasm work.
It's interesting. I really liked it. I think it seems like your basic fantasy at first, but then when you keep watching, they do a couple different things. I think that keep it fresh and kind of like new.
Ethel, one other thing I was going to say because it totally slipped my mind. I'm going to be on Night Watch doing their Monster Fridays for a while, but they do kind of short ones, maybe 20 minutes to an hour. But would you probably be starting about 2 p.m. Mike? You'd probably be starting the movie about this time, if you were showing it on Friday, would you?
Yeah, I could probably start it. Right now it's 9 o'clock here, so I could probably start at 9 or 8 o'clock. But if you let me know when you guys start and when you think you'll probably be done, I could just go right after that.
Cool beans. Again, I don't want to be shooting you down just after I said it was okay. And again, Friday. And hell, come here. Even if I can't make it, the other guys certainly will. So I will do my damnedest to make it. But if I can't, work away without me because you fucking plug it and all.
Yeah.
It's just I don't want to be holding anyone up either. Like
and Sadie said keep me updated as well. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to get you guys in on something too, because I found a movie that not on Apple because I know I want Apple to do her own thing, but I got something I think you guys would find you would like.
Yeah. How about because we could do kind of like a long one on Apple's and then a long one on yours. Depends. We'll see.
Trenchy, just to remind you, Faces of Death is not a family movie, okay?
No.
oh god.
No, this is a movie called Funland from 1987. It's the most amazing movie I've ever seen.
That's the movie that's the review you talked about your funeral rites in.
Yes.
I don't even remember how you got to that point.
Oh, because I said I wanted a clown to do my eulogy.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, if you want me to dress up as a clown, that's fine.
Oh
Just
yeah,
remember,
man.
it's going to be a goth bozo clown,
Nice.
and that'll be for your
Trenchy,
funeral.
Trenchy, have you decided what music you want while you're lowered into the ground?
I think I had a song picked out. I forget.
What about the RoboCop theme tune?
Huh?
The RoboCop theme tune. Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do.
That would be good. Celebrate Good Times would be also a good one.
But that no, because that makes us seem like we're happy about your past, and I don't want to play that one.
mean, I think it would be funny.
Ooh, how about the song "Look on the Bright Side of Death"?
Always look on the bright side of life.
Oh no, there's a different one that is from a Terry Pratchett game, which is called "Always Look on the Bright Side of Death."
Come here, as Trenchy's been lowered into the ground, right, I'm going to pull a complete William Shatner and go, of all the souls I ever knew, his was the most human. Fucking Scotty playing Amazing Grace and fucking bagpipes.
See, now you're going to have to buy a trench coat. So we finally put you in the ground and we're burying you over, I can pick up and say, right, now this needs to be exercised.
I got a trench coat.
Yep.
No, but here's the thing.
Actually, everybody should wear trench coats to your funeral.
Well, I was also going to say, you know the way like the certain war heroes and stuff have the American flag draped over their coffin? Should we not just drape his coffin with the trench coat?
Oh God,
That's a good idea.
He says yakety sax as we lower him into the ground. The Benny Hill theme.
Oh, how about cheesy elevator music just as you're going down?
Inexplicably, he chooses Chumbawamba.
I get knocked down, but then I get up again. I like that.
As long as
Hey, I'll be right back, guys. While I'm gone,
You're not supposed to say that.
What?
You're not supposed to say I'll be right back.
You're gonna die.
I'm sorry. I watched Scream. I binged all the Scream movies and all of the seasons of the show. I'm like this forever now.
Okay, and because of that, I'm going to take my laptop into the toilet and have it on my knees when I'm pitching one off. How's that sound?
Dude, go ahead. Anthro deserves it because I've already seen it.
Oh yeah, you've heard it. I let you tell the story. I'll be right back.
Not seen it. I thought you heard it. Not seen it.
He's got to do the Chuck Woolery thing from Love Connection. He'll be back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
But yeah, basically, we were trying to watch stuff on Discord, but because it wasn't working for some people, we moved it over to a StreamYard, and Trash stayed in Discord. We didn't know why. So I thought, okay, I'll jump in, see why he's still there. And he's like, oh yeah, I just forgot to log out. And I've gone, oh yeah, where are you? And he's gone, I'm sitting on the loo. Because he took his laptop with him, so he was literally looking at the camera as he was pinching a loaf.
But he didn't know. Like, he thought he had logged out. He didn't know he was still there.
He thought he logged out. He didn't realise until I said, hey dude, are you alright?
He's just dropping the kids off at the pool.
Yeah, and he's gone, yeah, I'm alright. You just caught me at a bad time. And it's like, oh, why? What's up? I'm on the loo.
It's like you go in expecting to see your friend, but you go in and you witness the remake of The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
That's an intense allegory there.
It's like you're going to go in to have a nice fat chat with someone, and then you realise that their cam's muted, they can't hear you, and their camera's on.
But Deacon, the thing I love the most about your story was that he was just not phased by it at all, the way you tell it.
Yeah, he's just not. It wasn't phased. It was kind of, oh, okay, yeah, okay. I forgot to log out. Yes, funds. That is a very good question. How long do you have? How long do you need to have a ship for in order to take your laptop?
I take my laptop a lot because I like the shit to a theme song.
It was his phone, not his laptop.
I shipped the soundtrack.
But yeah, it wasn't exactly what I was expecting when I jumped in to see if he was alright on Discord.
Marty says it was his phone, so.
See, he didn't bring the whole laptop. He was too scared it might fall in, you know.
But the phone's smaller.
Well, yeah, but the phone is like, well, you gotta like hold the laptop with two hands. How was he supposed to wipe his ass? Like with his foot? Or like hold the laptop with his foot? Well, it's too much.
Oh, and Trash has just said, also, I think I need more fiber in my diet. Thank you for the news flush.
I don't understand, and I'm not sure I want to.
Deacon could like break it down in great detail. He could pull out the fucking chalkboard.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he could, but
But I'm not going to. I'm not going to be that cruel today.
Say if he needs more fiber, he needs it broken down.
But on a different note, Deacon, I did get my copy of Krull on 4K, and it is marvelous.
Oh,
awesome!
I own a few 4K movies, but I do not actually have a 4K player yet. I need to get one to watch them.
I got mine for right at $100 off eBay.
I'll have to look into that. Then,
and it was brand new.
And Art, I know Marty has a Discord account. I do not know what his server is, but I do have a Discord server if you want me to send that link to you at any point.
And we have Zachary Hay saying, every time I come in here, Trenchy is talking about wiping his ass. Actually, it was Trash talking about wiping his ass.
Every time?
Every time you come in here, he talks about wiping his ass. Are you sure?
Who the fuck said that? I do not talk about it every time. Maybe 50, maybe 78% of the time, but not like
only every time Zachary shows up.
It's like, I don't talk about wiping my ass on my stream most of the time, but it's like,
you can tell.
I wasn't even talking about wiping my ass. I was talking about Marty wiping his ass.
You can tell Trash really needs more fiber because the strain made him remove his hat.
Oh, dude,
he overheated.
I
wasn't even talking about wiping my ass. I was talking about him wiping his ass. There's a difference.
Wait, Trenchy, you said you want to wipe my ass.
No, I don't.
I'm
one. Oh God.
Oh,
why do you?
No, Trench is going to pull. Oh no, Trash! You're going to pull a King Henry and have him literally sit beneath your seat and say, "Oh yes, sire, you have filled this pail, and now let me wipe your behind."
I mean, how much you paying me?
Trenchy will await your foundation.
I will. Do you know what? I will pay you as many kittens as you want.
As many what?
Kittens. I will give you kittens to eat, to cuddle, to wipe your arse with, whatever you want, dude.
No, don't. No. Seriously though, we actually got a new kitten at our house the other day.
Oh,
don't let Trenchy here.
Show us kitten. Show us kitten.
I don't know if I
Okay.
can. She's currently living in my sister's room because our older cat Moriarty hasn't taken to her well. We have to wait to introduce them.
He's kind of jealous.
Yeah, he's definitely jealous. Every time he's seen her at all, he has hissed.
No. Hopefully he'll get used to it.
Hopefully. He's also been eating less recently. We hope he's okay.
But you got to look on the bright side. None of your cats are vicious, conniving, bloodthirsty bastards, and none of them
We
are.
get a cat after a criminal mastermind, so I don't know.
I don't know, man. My cats are something else.
They're not toilet paper, that's for sure, Trenchy. No matter how many.
I'm pretty sure if you try using one as toilet paper,
I do not do that.
Trenchy, I'm absolutely sure that there is one cat in your house that if you tried using it as toilet paper, you would be fixed as a human being.
Yeah, no. I have a rapist cat. He might rape me. Like if I tried it, he might enjoy it. So it's like no. And second of all, I don't do that to animals. Like
It's just the look on
Animals
Ambrose
have to
face,
do it
kind
to
of like
you.
the look on Ambrose face, kind of like, what? Why are you talking about a rapist cat?
No, I've heard this from Trinity before.
we've done in detail.
Oh,
Yeah, his cats will attack him mid-review. I've seen it.
What were you on live stream and all I heard was, "Oh, you horny bastard, get off it!"
Oh, there was my stream, and it was like, I think there was some like stream that I did where something Bayla said on Queenie's end, and then something she said lined up.
Oh yeah, because it seemed like Trenchy was answering Queenie or one of the lads' kids with like, "Get off her, you horny bastard!"
Because the thing was, I thought I was mute, and my cat was like trying to sexually assault me, which is a normal occurrence. But I was trying to stop it, and I thought I was mute, so I was like, "Go away, you're fucking horny. We are not the same species." It's like, "Get off of me!" She clawed me, and I was like, "Get off of me, you horny bastard!" And it's like, I wasn't even paying attention to you guys, so I didn't know afterwards.
The Discovery Channel.
See, Trenchy could star in his own episode of Interspecies Reviewers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
No.
Oh, an anime.
I'll fucking Goblin Slayer. I will star in Goblin Slayer, but I draw the line at fucking interspecies. I draw the line.
How did we get to this point in life in general?
Mr. Chumpkins, has his plumbing been deactivated, or does he get frisky with other cats? Ethel?
So I'm sorry, what?
Mr. Chumpkins, have you Mr. Chumpkins kind of like, have you him spayed or neutered or anything? And like, does he kind of stalk the neighborhood looking for lady cats or what's his deal?
He's an indoor cat. He's neutered, but when I first got him, he used to have this. He still has it. He has this like stuffed hedgehog, and he used to hump it. But he stopped doing that after a while.
It's a good thing he never got near a real hedgehog. He would have screwed himself up big time.
Catwoman used to call him a naughty humper all the time.
Oh gosh. Oh, guys, I'm thinking I might end it here. Is there anyone else with any kind of news or anything they wanna shoot out before I end the stream?
The only thing I could think of is I'm hoping to have my VR avatar ready by April.
Cool.
Nice.
Andrew, what about you, dude? What have you got in the pipeline, or what do you want to say?
I have a stream on the channel of Genome Presents coming up this Wednesday at, I believe, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to be on there. I think Ben from Cadaver Club is going to be on there. and a couple other folks, and we're going to be watching Horror of Dracula.
Sweet
Ooh.
beans.
Send us a link so we can hover in the chat.
I will.
So-
I definitely will.
Ethel,
Yeah.
So Ethel, this Friday, do you want to cobble together a stream, a B movie
Not this
stream?
Friday, next Friday.
Next Friday.
Next
Sorry.
I gotta find us a movie that I can do it. So
Cool. Okay. What about you, Trenchy? Have you anything in the pipeline?
Like I said, the Beastmaster review. I'm working on my third part to my 100 horror movies, but that might be a while. That list thing, and I might do a stream during the week. I'm very random about that. We'll see what happens.
Cool beans. Mark, any reviews coming up? Anything you going to review on DVD or TV or?
Yeah, I'm gonna be since it's something I've never done before. I'm gonna be doing Thungar the Barbarian.
Okay, cool beans. So for me, this Friday I'm going to be on Night Watch reviewing The Predator with Craig and his crew, and then on Sunday, hopefully, guys, if you're free, we'll be reviewing Western horror movies. So yeah, thanks a million for everyone tuning in. Thanks Sadie, thanks Art, thanks Night Watch. Thank you, Fun Sponge. Thank you, Kubrick Lover. Everyone who tuned in. Dino, thanks a million. Everyone who came in. And stay awesome and take care of yourselves. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay frosty.